Hey fellas, Frankie Day here on YouTube. Okay guys, it's Saturday afternoon. I went ahead and kind of jumped around a little bit. I went and finished up my 1/700 scale Trumpeter USS California BB-44. And she's all done, folks. I just finished it up, so in a sense, let this thing lay idle. I got it all done, so I go ahead and continue working on my livery ship and get her finished. The final reveal for my livery ship will be for tomorrow, folks. I was very seriously. I was really hoping that I have it shooting for today to have her complete, but never arrived. So I just kind of changed thought a little bit, went ahead and finished up what's on the plate, and then jump back on the livery ship. So stay tuned for that for the final reveal for my livery ship tomorrow, folks. And so right after this, I'm going to go ahead and start work on my livery ship and get it all done for tomorrow's final reveal. Okay guys, these 1/700 scale models, boy, they're small. Especially you try to put all the details as possible you can do in something so small like this. So this is, it came out pretty good. It's a gallant survivor of Pearl Harbor. The battleship California, as we all know, was sunk in Battleship Road, 7/7/1941. And her damage on her wasn't really that greatly compared to the Oklahoma and the West Virginia and Arizona and Nevada and the rest of them out there. She was torpedoed a couple times, but the damage to her wasn't really that bad compared to that of the battle wagons. But just the same, she was refloated on the fly as fast as possible to be sent back to Bremerton, Washington for refit. So she lost a lot of her early Washington Treaty dreadnought design by having extra torpedo bulges inside the hulls, and the funnels and everything else was removed and redesigned to the basis of the South Dakota class battleship. So this is a good kit, folks. It's a little pricey for a 1/700 scale. They run about $45, $42, somewhere around there at your hobby shop at your nearest neck of the woods. And like most trumpet kits, no matter 1/700 scale or 1/350 scale, they're pricey. And a lot of parts on this thing. I think there's about a couple hundred parts on this. And I noticed on the kit itself they give me parts of the West Virginia too, which is 1941 refit. I have that up there in my stash pile. And I got a few models I got from our great Freddie Duarte. I horse traded him an AMT 1992 KC-135 Stratotanker. And so he gave me about four ships in return, the Shenandoah and the Baltimore class cruiser, and I believe the Tirpitz and another one up there, yeah, the USS Ticonderoga. So that's two, the all 1/700 scale, except the Shenandoah. The Shenandoah is 1/450 scale, so it's an old 1970s Hasegawa kit. They had a motor with it at one time. I remember seeing it at a hobby shop a few times. And so I don't know, I'll probably build that one of these times whenever I get the notion. But right now, folks, I'm concentrating on finishing up on my plate. And so I'm glad I got the California all done. And I got her mounted to the sea of her choosing as planned, using the plastic light covers to use to simulate the water, and on a nice varnished, stained piece of wood mantelpiece that I bought at Home Depot. Oh, excuse me, down at Hobby Lobby. And you'll see it as we look at the final reveal of the USS California. Okay, gentlemen, without further ado, we'll go ahead and take a look at the USS California and her final reveal. And I'll send the camera back to yours truly and discuss what I'll probably be doing next. So, guys, stay tuned. A little hard to starboard, we'll take a look at the California. Okay guys, as you can see, it's her sea of choosing right here. And it's awful small, fellas, so I'm going to try to keep this thing all its entirety as much as I possibly can. And you can see the detail on it. The decks were all airbrushed using teak, and I gave it a wash of navy blue because the decks faded out a lot on these things is because of constant foot traffic. And I think we're going a little more, fellas. Yeah, we'll go a little more. There's a lot of rigging on this thing too, as you can see. And it's a beautiful ship. The California, the Tennessee were the same class battle wagons used at Pearl Harbor. And they were there to maintain peace between Japan and the other navies. But then the Pearl Harbor came to view, she was sunk. And so it's pretty well small. It's around 10, 11 inches long, fellas. You can see how big my hand is compared to it. It's huge. It's small. And it's all been painted 5S dark sea blue. And the decks are painted navy blue. Excuse me. I gave it a wash of that, and you can see the wash on the deck, how it's worn out from footwear. Made the water using that plastic lamp cover, light covers. They got it. Works very, very well, fellas. Very easy to cut. Just use a straight edge rule, mark it, lightly score, and snap it like you do a vacuum form kit. Once it's snapped, it'll snap anywhere as long as it's cut. Then you sand the edges also as good and flush and straight. Then you go ahead and paint your blue. When you paint your seascape, you're using this kind of a material, folks. Always paint the underside of it blue. Yeah, the top side is will be unpainted, but you'll see the blue underneath it. That way it'll give you like a 3D effect of the ocean. Then you go ahead and add your wakes. And we'll go in a little more here. It's a nice ship, folks. I really enjoy building these little squirts. So these 1/7 scale ship models, they don't take that much room up. You can build a whole flotilla of these things without taking that much space. And there's a lot out there 1/700 scale, folks. Trumpeter's got a whole lot of them out there. Of course, Ravel's got a couple 1/700 scales out there. Most there's a 1/720, which is just a little bigger 1/7, a little smaller than 1/700 scale. And 1/700 scale is small enough. And as you can see, it builds quite well for 1/700 scale. And I enjoyed building this little squirt. I got quite a few of them in my collection. And so I decided to give this thing a shot, build it a little bit. One of my commentators on there, he enjoys the California. And his father was on it. And California was a good battleship for a day. And right now she's been scrapped. 1959 they scrapped the battleship USS California. Turned them into razor blades. Okay guys, we'll take her out. It's a good kit, guys. It really is. It's there's a lot of detail in that little joker. It looks awful strange compared to its original design, but like the event of Pearl Harbor, fellas, we had to We had nothing. We didn't upgrade our Navy, upgrade nothing. And the Japanese caught us with our pants down. And while they're developing an empire and a great Navy and Air Force, we're sitting there doing nothing. So like Serio Yamato said, it says, all we did is woke up a sleeping giant, infuriated him, and filled him with nothing but resolve. And America always is great for being a sleeping giant, as we are now. It's like the old saying, folks, that my dad told me a long time ago when I was a young man. He said, when you don't think of your country as a whole, you don't prepare, and let individualism blind you, you'll pay in blood. And so that's why I say history always repeats itself, because people, especially in America, we don't learn nothing from our history's past. So that's why history is always constantly repeated, is because of stupidity. The education system in schools today don't teach kids nothing about history. And there's a lot about history that we can learn to keep it from happening again, but it seems like to me it always happens all the time because we don't learn or benefit nothing from our history's past. So it's always good to prepare and don't let individualism blind you. You got to think of your country as a whole and your family and yourself. And when you don't, you're going to pay in big time blood. Okay guys, enough of that chatter right there. We'll take the camera and swing around to yours truly and finish up the video. And I'm going to tell you what I'll be doing next. Okay boys, here I am again. Okay guys, that completes I believe it's video 3 or 4 on my USS California, the final reveal. And she's done. I'm going to put her away now. My wife's got a nice little carry-o in the living room. It'll fit nice in there. And I can't see why she can't fit nice there. It's small enough to fit in there. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start painting my Grumman Gulf Hawk when I get done here. And while it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the mizzen mast and the cargo booms in my SS Patrick Henry, my livery ship, and get it prepared for the final reveal tomorrow. So tonight I'm going to get the after deck house, not the after deck house, but the mizzen mast, cargo booms, and jumbo booms all assembled and ready to be rigged, and start on the rigging and complete same, and finish at the main rigging on the Patrick Henry, and go to something else. So Monday I'll be starting the community group build. Mr. Bob Buskin, he sent me a commentation on my livery ship, so he wasn't hosting it. He was, I forget the gentleman's name. He got 2 community builds. He got one by Roadhog. He builds, he favors in the cars and hot rods and trucks and such. So he'd be hosting that group build. And another fellow here, you gotta please forgive me, dear sir, I don't know what your username is on your channel, but on the on the update of the build on my 86 Sky Raider, when I'll make a video of it, I'll tell you exactly who the gentleman's name is. And so he'd be hosting that. And that goes all the way up to the 31st of this month, March. And like I said yesterday on the livery ship update, if you run a little bit, you can go ahead and he'll give you a little more time. Okay guys, time for me to get out of here right now. It's Frankie Day signing off. We'll catch you guys on tomorrow for the final reveal on the SS Patrick Henry. So make mama happy, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye boys. Take care, fellas.